Hey everyone. Hello, brothers and sisters in Christ. I pray that you are doing well. I pray that you are drawing near to the Lord. And I pray that you are ready to learn. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today we're going to talk about why you must know God before it's too late. Whether or not the rapture happens before tribulation, believers must be spiritually prepared. The world has lied to us about everything, from our basic needs to what it means to trust God. If we don't have a real relationship with Him, how will we endure the deception, hardship, and persecution that's coming? Too many Christians only know about God, but they don't actually know Him. If the world fell apart tomorrow, if the stores were empty and the internet shut down and the government turned against you, could you rely on God completely? In Matthew chapter 25, Jesus gives the parable of the 10 virgins. 5 were wise and had oil in their lamps. 5 were foolish and had none. When the time came, the foolish ones were left out because they weren't prepared. Matthew chapter 25 verse 12 says, "But he answered and said, 'Truly I say to you, I do not know you.' The question is, are you truly prepared?" The lies of the world, training us to rely on man. Let's talk about that. The world has trained us to believe that we need man-made solutions for everything. But the Bible tells us that God is our provider. Let's look at some lies we've been told. Lie number 1. You need 3,000 calories a day to survive. Fasting is biblical. Jesus fasted for 40 days. The world tells us we'll die without constant food, but God designed us to rely on Him more than our stomachs. Lie number 2. Your body can't survive without constant medicine. I'm not saying that all medicine is bad, but our first instinct should be prayer and faith, not pharmaceuticals, excuse me. Healing comes from God. Lie number 3. You need technology, government, and systems to survive. What happens when all of that is gone? Are we relying on man's provision or God's? The world wants us dependent on its systems so that when everything collapses, people will run to the Antichrist instead of our God. What's coming? Why faith will be required. We may face a time when Christians can't buy or sell without compromising. We are shut out of society for our faith. We have to live off the land, trusting God for provisions. Persecution increases and true believers must stand firm. This has happened before. Elijah was fed by ravens in the wilderness, and you can find that in 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 6. The Israelites survived on manna for 40 years, and you can find that in Exodus chapter 16, verse 35. Jesus himself fasted for 40 days and nights. You could read about that in Matthew chapter 4, verse 2. Psalm chapter 37, verse 25 says, I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. If we truly know God, we won't panic when things fall apart. We will trust that He will provide, just as He always has. Let's talk about how to build unshakable faith. If you want to be prepared, it's not about storing up food or buying land. It's about having unshakable faith in the one who created you. Here's how to get spiritually strong now, before it's too late. First, make daily time with God. Read His Word, pray, and fast. Number 2, test your faith now. Practice relying on God in small ways, you can do it from asking Him to open a door for you, asking Him to make things easier for you that morning, asking Him. I do things like provide a parking spot, Father, for me in the front, right? Don't ask him for money and the lottery and all that all of the time. Money is not what we're here for, beloved. If he wants you to have riches and money, you will have it. But chances are, beloved, we're not having those things because it's going to draw us away from the purpose, right? The purpose and chasing after the Lord. So just trust him. Whatever you have is sufficient. And if you don't have it, come to him. Number 3, stop trusting the system. Learn to hear God's voice over the noise of the world. Number 4, prepare spiritually, not just physically. The enemy wants your soul, not your supplies. Number 5, surround yourself with believers. We are stronger together. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6 says, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." God is faithful. He will never abandon his people. But the question is, do you truly trust him? If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. The time is now. We must know God for ourselves, not just know about him. Stay strong in faith. He will provide all of our needs in the coming days, beloved. The most important thing is to know him and have a relationship with him. Do not be left to hear, "Depart from me. I never knew you." I pray that this helps you guys gain some understanding today. And I pray that it encourages you to draw near to the Lord and ask him to reveal himself to you if you don't know him and walk with him. God bless you all in a mighty, mighty way. Until next time.